we start for the Ring magazine here at the back of York Hall, which we saw, another entertaining night tonight. Can't beat a Friday night.
Friday night York Hall, packed to the rafters. Early main event as well, which I think always goes down well. And what a main event, what a fight, what a performance from George Liddard. I mean, I said in the ring, we signed George as a young guy, amateur champion, lots of ability, local lad, good ticket seller. I thought maybe one day he could win a British title. To do that at 23, I think it announces himself as one of the top prospects in the world, let alone just Britain. And I think we need to, double down on that and give him the respect that he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of billed as a 50-50 fight, but I mean, no one expected George to win, especially that way, and like a dominating fashion.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kieran did injure his hand, but it was one-way traffic. I mean, he was winning nearly every round. Whether he would have stopped him or not, I don't know, but what I do know is he was controlling the fight. It was his, composure. It was his jab. It was his IQ. Everything. It was just a wonderful performance.
Yeah. And whilst obviously, there's always big fights and big arenas, is it somewhat nice to be at York Hall and have these nights like this?
It is. I mean, look, I like the big shows. I like the big arenas, but I love great atmosphere. And I like people having a good time. You looked around in there tonight. Everyone was having an amazing time, and that's what it's all about. Hopefully everybody leaves tonight going, got value for money, and everyone that tuned in on DAZN loved the experience. So. Look, we're not going to... I think this can serve a good purpose for us for the smaller shows. Yeah. And I like the fact that you can give fighters that might not be able to fill a massive arena yet the chance to headline. Like, we're kind of moving away from next gen. Yeah. And just doing different levels of shows, rather, because someone like George Liddard, by labelling them a next gen, you're putting them into a category, and you're not really saying this is a British and Commonwealth champion. This is just a prospect. He's more than a prospect, So we're going to start doing, rather than 5 or 6 next gens, probably just some really good fight nights like this mixed in with the bigger shows, and this is a perfect place for it. You dress it up, you put some nice, neon digital lights up there, and it looks a little bit different, and there is nothing like it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, didn't get a chance to catch up with you earlier with the Ben Whittaker signing, but yeah, ready to rock and roll on November 29th.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I mean, I'm absolutely delighted that we've got Ben. I think for me, one of the top stars in British boxing. He just gets it, Louis. You know what I mean? He's got that something. People always say to me, "Who's the next big star of British boxing?" And I think it's Ben Whittaker. You're talking about Nas levels and all these entertainers. People love to hate. People love to love. And November 29th, I think sometimes we've got to remember he's just had 10 fights, and he hasn't really boxed any high-level opposition. I see people say, who's the opponent? The opponent's undefeated in 8 years, right? He's WBC international champion. He was a good amateur. It's a good fight for him. Now, don't get me wrong. If he's what we think he is, we expect him to look good in it and win. But it's a fast turnaround. We need not 2 or 3 fights like this, but we just need 2 or 3 fights below the Callum Smiths and the Boatsis and the Yards, because we've only had 10 fights. Those guys have had, some of them had 30 fights. So there's 3 levels. There's the Benavides, there's the Beterbiev, and there's the Bivol. Then, of course, there's the Callum Smiths, the Boatsis and the Yards. Then there's Craig Richards, Dan Aziz, Willie Hutchinson, and those guys. So we've got to go through all the levels, and this is just the start of that run.
Yeah, but you must sort of understand some of the criticism, because when Whittaker turns pro, he was saying, look, I want Dan Aziz British title in 5 fights, and to feel like 4 years down the line, it's still, we're still waiting for that.
Yeah, but he's never had the momentum. Yeah, that's the problem. He's never been given the guidance or the dates to actually advance his career. The Liam Cameron thing was a mess. Yeah, complete mess. Then he changed with Andy Lee, comes in, smashes him in the rematch, and now we'll see what he does on November 27th. We've got to have the opportunity. We know what we're doing. And I'm not going to waste it with Ben Whittaker just because some geezer on Twitter says he should be fighting someone better. Honestly, trust me, this is a decent fighter he's up against. Let Ben go through the gears, get the experience. He's going to be around for a long time, and he's going to be a world champion. Yeah. Well, that promo video that you shot with him, it's caused a bit of a stir. And obviously he said, look, Frank Warren's on the phone. And Frank Warren made a point in my interview with him to say, look, we never made an offer. Ben Whittaker said, look, they did make an offer. Lee Eaton replied to that message, to that tweet, saying, look, there was no offer made. Do you understand, what do you... Doesn't really matter. I would expect they made an offer, but if they didn't make an offer, they didn't make an offer. I mean, I know Boxer made a massive offer, other promotional companies made offers. People know who Ben Whittaker is, people know about the following, and people know about the ability. I love the following, I love the profile, but I'm more interested in the quality of the fighter. And do we have a fighter that can go on and win world championships at 175? And for me, the answer is yes. Yeah. From one Olympian to another. I seen you in the I seen you in the comments of Keyshawn Davis. Yeah. Is there
any potential play there?
I just like Keyshawn a lot, and we did his first few fights, and I see a bit of a sort of troubled soul, if you like, and I want him to get better. I want him to get happy, but I want him hopefully to return to boxing. The last bit's kind of the final hurdle, do you know what I mean? But I like the man, and I think if you can get him right, I think he could be a phenomenal fighter. So it's nothing about trying to sign him. I just wish him all the best.
Yeah, is there legs in Crocker Pacquiao, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Crocker bends the fight.
Yeah.
Conor Ben comes through, Chris Eubank moves down, challenges for the world title, got to fight straight off the bat for a world title. So we'll see. November 15th first.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, Eddie. Appreciate it. Thanks, mate.